So today we're going to spend another day practicing this strategy, and I'm glad that we broke down this lesson into these different parts because I can now see where some of you guys are making the mistakes that you are. And I would say the biggest mistake most of you guys are making is this. All right, so there's a difference between the H, and what I've done now is in the formula I've changed it to a capital H, for that being the height of the shape, because what's happening is you guys are using this H, the H from your base, and you're putting it into the second part of your equation where a capital H would be, and that is where you're making your miscalculation. And so the capital H is the height of your shape, not the height of your base. And you'll see just in a second here what I mean by that. Alright, so just a quick review. When you're finding your perimeter, what I would do is I would redraw the shape of your base. So in this case, it is a rectangle, and then label the sides. Alright, so a lot of mistakes yesterday. People were only adding 3 sides when we have a rectangle, and you have to label and then add around. Alright, and so the area of your base is going to be base times height of your base only. All right, so that would be the H. Now when you get to the height of your shape, that is going to be right there. All right, so what I would do is I would write an H right away. Now that's going to help you. Once you find that perimeter, you're going to times it by this H, not by the H of your base. All right, so hopefully that makes sense for the rectangle. Now we take a look at our triangular prism. So what I would do is redraw that triangle. So what do I have here? I'll see that I have my base of 7, and then my leg here. All right, and hopefully you guys saw that that is isosceles there. So in the case of this becomes an equilateral triangle. And now for my perimeter, I go all the way around. All right, and so that dotted line going up and down there, that is the height of my base only. Alright, so that would be my little h, and now my capital H is going to be the height of my shape, which is 6. Okay, so that equals 6, and so once I do that here, that is going to be my capital H. Alright, so what that means again is once you have that base and you rotate it to the top or the bottom, that's going up or down like an elevator, escalator, 6 levels, which is coming from that height. Alright, so please don't use this one here when it is a height on the side of your shape. Okay, next we have the trapezoid. So again, drawing our trapezoid for our base is going to really help us out. And I put the trapezoid formula there. All right, so to find our perimeter, again, take a look at our sides. We have our bottom number, right? And now I need to know this and this, but these are the same length. It's an isosceles trapezoid, and then in order to find this side, I need to go over and see what that is, right? So that's a 7, which means that side is a 7, and then I also need a side on the top, which I see here goes across. All right, so now I have 4 dimensions, and I can go across. All right, and so now for the height of my shape, it's that dotted line inside of the shape. So my 8 is my H, and now the height of my shape itself, which I'm going to use for my volume and then my surface area, is the only number that I have left, which is 4. All right, so again, it's tough to see here, but the trapezoid is the base, so that would be the level on which it's rotated, and then it would be going 4 up once the trapezoid becomes the base. All right, so please make sure that you're using 4, all right, and not using the little h, 8. All right, so that is when it's supposed to be used. And then in our last example, again, we have a triangle. So let's take a look at that again. All right, so my dotted line here, the 4 is the height of my triangle base only. All right, so that is my little h. So what is my capital H? I need to go to my shape, and I see that that is 20, all right, which I'm going to use for my volume, and I'm going to use for my surface area when I times the perimeter times that. like it's an elevator again, all right? So it's going up 20 levels of the perimeter of the shape, which again, I know the bottom there, and I know the side, and this is an isosceles triangle, so that goes there, and it goes around. So I would say that's the biggest thing to look for today is the difference between the little h and the bigger H. And once you realize the difference between the two, then you guys are going to start to get a lot more right. So any questions, let me know. I'm here to help.